Marketing Insights, part of the Watson Marketing group of products. And if I had to characterize this, it's cognitive audiences for the marketer, right? It's about helping the marketer identify the right audience to go target for a campaign. So with that, one of the key things is easy integration, right? I want to be able to take this audience that I've identified here and easily make it available to the marketing client. There really are, I would say, three key ways of interacting with the product. The first is Watson Marketing Insight says, hey, I've been looking at your customer behavior data. I've been looking at how your customers have been interacting with you, what they've been buying, where they've been buying it in a store, on the web, whether they're happy, unhappy. And here it's kind of saying, I've got some audiences, I've got some people here that I think you should be interested in looking at. So, one of these is, I've got just over 9,000 customers. They are likely to become disengaged, all right? These are these are people that are, currently engaged or highly engaged with me as a brand, but we think, looking at their behavior, they're likely to become disengaged. So I can select that audience, and what I see here is that these are my engagement segments. I can see that people are moving predominantly from my engaged group. It's only 9 people from my highly engaged. Maybe won't do a full-on campaign to those, right? But and people from opted in. And so I say, okay, Marketing Insights, I quite like this audience as a starting point. Thanks for recommending it to me. I'm going to select that audience and I'm going to refine it as a new audience. So I think I'll probably give it a better name than Audience 35 Copy.
Excuse me, but Watson explain why these people are likely to be disengaged?
Yeah. Well, so I'll show you an example of that with attrition in a minute.
Okay.
So,
Sorry about that.
yeah, no worries. Okay, so I'm going to be really, just for time, I'm going to be very lazy with the naming of it. I probably want to give it a more sensible name.
Take it.
So I've got this group of people. Marketing Insights has said, hey, I think they're going to be disengaged. I can come in here and I can further refine that audience, okay? So, maybe I don't want my people who've opted out in my audience, right? Maybe I don't want people who've recently become disengaged. But, right now, maybe I'm happy with it, or maybe I want to add some additional constraints, right, to this audience. Maybe I want to just go after a certain age group. Maybe I want to go after people who are who have a high customer lifetime value. So I'm only interested in people who are high lifetime value and engaged, right?
What's the source of this data? This is live demo?
This is the production environment.
But where did the data come
This
from?
data will typically come from your enterprise data warehouse.
No, I mean this data that you're using.
Oh, this is
made up,
synthetic
basically?
data.
Okay, thank you.
It's kind of safer.
Got it.
To
Well, yeah.
make the data up rather than show people. Yeah, this is fake. It's fake data.
We're not exposing anyone.
We're not exposing anyone. Yeah, no customers were harmed in this demo. So I've got an audience. What do I want to do with that audience? Well, I want to make it available, right? I want to take action. Well, one of the easiest ways to take action, of course, is if I've got the Marketing Cloud, export that audience here and now to the Marketing Cloud so I can go target. I might publish the audience to UBX. So if I've got IBM Campaign on-premise solution, I can kind of pull that audience and connect with them through Campaign. If I don't have the IBM Campaign Management offerings, I can save the target list to my desktop and then just import that to my own campaign management tool. So that's kind of one flow, right? Flow is that Marketing Insights has recommended a group of people to go target.
Have you been running this at IBM yet?
Not yet, but it's a to-do, right? So we've had those conversations. A second way might be, hey, I've got a nutrition problem. How do I know I've got a nutrition problem? Because when I came into the application this morning, it told me I've got a nutrition problem with a little red banner above. Go look at that. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, right, I'm going to go to my nutrition lens. And Marketing Insights is going to say, so I know you've got a nutrition problem. Here are some audiences that maybe you should look at. So, one audience here. So these are folks who have complained more than twice in the last month, all right? I've got another audience here that talks to people who've abandoned their cart, who've returned items and haven't logged into my website in the past 2 weeks. So all I've got here are kind of two different audiences. There are others. They are characterized by very different behaviors. All right, one people who are complaining, one people who are abandoning carts, and other behaviors, right? But they're both audiences that are at risk of attrition. But I might want to market and communicate with them in different ways, all right? So what Marketing Insights is doing is helping me kind of target a group of people and further refine that audience. That's kind of the second way. And kind of to answer your earlier question, you see hints of it here, but you also see a little bit more here. So this is us saying to the marketer, okay, this is attrition. What are the behaviors in my customer base that are indicative of attrition? Behind the scenes, as I'm sure you're aware, right, there's a whole bunch of math. This is where the machine learning, the cognitive is coming into play. But what we're doing is taking that and extrapolating the salient information so we can present it to the marketer in a way that the marketer can understand. So here, we see that the drivers of attrition for this particular data set are people who've abandoned their cart, people who've complained, people who've returned items, people who haven't logged in. So this will be different for different customers, different data, and it will change over time. So the idea is that we are, you're constantly feeding the system with new behavior data from your customers. That in turn is driving kind of a deeper understanding of their behavior, which in turn is surfacing different audiences, different insights to the marketer for them to go action. There's a third way that I might interact with the product, which is kind of just, hell, I've got an audience that I want to go target, right? And I can do that from scratch. So I can come in to identify a new audience. Again, we'll be a bit lazy with how we name it. But I've got access to a whole host of data that describes my customers, whether that's demographic data around age and so on, gender, transactional behavior, and then kind of the specific behavioral attributes from the models, the machine learning behind the scenes that is driving a lot of these insights. I've got direct access to that data as well. So if I wanted to just come in and say, well, I want to do a campaign to my kind of gold customers, right? My high value customers that are risk of leaving, that are between 35 and 60, that live in the Southwest. Bang, I can easily kind of create that audience and then publish that.
So would a company simply get this and then tie it into their own CRM system?
Think about kind of the data management piece. It's a full software as a service, multi-tenant solution. So two ways of interacting with it. One is through this interface, the second is through an API layer. Right. So the APIs are where you would set up the data configuration, where you pull the data from different sources.
But they would use this dashboard, essentially?
They would use
this dashboard?
They would use, not to do that database. The database is all managed through APIs, so that's code. So what you'd find is that there'll be probably a 2 to 4 week setup period, depending on the complexity of the data for the customer. And after that, it's automated, right? You set up the automation as part of that. All of the analytics and cognitive pieces, once they're set up and configured, doing that first piece, self-learning,
Did you
self-augmenting.
have a beta for this yet?
So we have 2 customers that have signed up in the limited availability that we're onboarding and working with in terms of real data. We've also, since last July, been working in a preview mode. So we've had about 12 different customers as part of that process.
I'm guessing you can't tell us any of those.
So one of the limited availability is Georgia Aquarium. We're allowed to say that.
Right, thank you.
So that whole process has been very kind of iterative. So, this is the live environment. It's been live since July. We've released it now, but it's continuous delivery, continuously improving it, getting feedback. So we're actually in the process now of kind of looking for customers to partner with to take us to the next level.